All right. So say it with me. Over engineering, overthinking. Um, so if you have a predisp- predisposition to tinker, that's what I'm trying to say. Um, it's kind of like, what's the line in Jurassic Park? We spent so much time uh, thinking how we didn't think about whether or not we should. Um, so it's pointed out to me in the GeneratePress Facebook group, the video I did last week on automatically creating uh, the like styles for your headings. Um, I still like it, and I'm still probably going to implement it on my sites because I have some other plans for it to not just do the heading styles, but maybe do like some utility spacing styles based on, maybe the paragraph bottom margin that's set. I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but it was pointed out to me, and this is the great thing about being in these groups and getting involved and getting other takes on scenarios, because sometimes you get tunnel vision and you don't see outside of what you're trying to accomplish, and or what you think your perfect solution is. And two heads are better than one, and more so, uh, even more better. So um, I can't remember the gentleman's name. I'm so sorry, forgive me, but it was pointed out to me that there's a much easier way to accomplish this. And I'm going to reference last week's video, but this is just a quick video I'm trying to record to show the idea that this person had, and maybe something they do all the time. It just never occurred to me. So when you're creating styles in the customizer with GeneratePress, you can choose what elements you want to set up your styling for, and you can do your headings. You can very much set up a an H2, and set the styling for it and all the stuff you want to do, and then set up your utility styles, your like styles. So just to recap, say you have an H3 in your layout, or rather an H2, let's say, but you want to style it as an H3. So you can create these, I call them, quote, like classes, um, that let you style your headings like to look like other headings, or even paragraphs. And they're very handy to cut down on, creating just random font sizes and things like that. You can reuse all of the font sizes and styles that you set up for your headings. But instead of doing the heading here as you're given this, and which is what it's for, but instead of using this, you can instead, going to wait a minute, wait, I don't have to do that. Let's type in. You can set up a custom, and now I can set up H2, comma, is style like H2, and now I have immediately I'm styling the H2 elements, and I'm creating what I call a utility style to style other elements to look like an H2. And I've already done that for my H1 here. And so I'm going to go in, and I am going to be really specific about it, that I want, let's do 700, transform normal, font size, none. Font size, let's do 2.4 rem. Let's do a line height of 1.2, I guess. I'm kind of making stuff up here. And I like a little negative letter spacing on my bigger styles to tighten them up a little bit, especially Franklin Gothic and even Bedoni. And my bottom margin, let's just do 0.5 rim. It's freaking out. I don't know why it does that. I get that more than occasionally. Yeah, maybe that's better. Okay. So that's my H2. I'm going to do my H3, and then we'll move on. Let's see. Did I get everything? Text transform, font style, normal, text decoration, none. Yeah, everything's set up there, and you can see it in action right here. Oh no, I don't have an H3 to look at. This is styled as an H1, but we're going to make it up. So again, I'm going to put in a custom, and we're going to do H3, comma, and I'm naming my utility classes like I did in the previous video, because I still want the opportunity to create my custom block styles based on these classes, and I'll try to show you that without making this video long. H3, H3, there we go. And again, we want Franklin, and we want the 700 weight, we want normal, normal, no. And I'm being really specific about all this, see, because you want to override font weight. Oh, font weight 400. Yeah. So I always want my my custom style to be specific enough to override anything that may be applied with the element style. So just to be clear, H3 or H2, H1, those are the elements I'm applying styling to, and the dot selector, dot is style like blah, blah, blah. Those are class selectors. And if I think I'm correct, the class selector will be more specific. I don't know. I'm not even going to go there right now. So let's look back at this. Okay, font size. Let's text transform. Normal, none. Font size. What'd I do? 2 rem. It's doing it again. 1.2. We'll do that again. And I like to do it where there's no value. We'll leave the letter spacing at 0, and the bottom margin, again, we'll do 0.25 rem. There, it chilled out. Okay. Style like an H3. So this, okay. So that's published. You know what? Instead of closing this out, I'm going to go to a new tab. Boom. And let's go to the About page and look at those styles. Oh, why does it take so long? Okay. So the idea is, okay, my custom block styling buttons or whatever they're called are gone because I disabled all that. But I can look at this and see that it has a style of is style default, and I can just take that off because it doesn't do anything. So that again is style like H3, so I can remove that and it goes back to an H2. Is style like H3, it goes back to an H3. This is an H3, but style like an H1. So if I remove that, I get my H3, and see these two have the same styling. And if I put that back, it styles it like an H1 again. And that's what I want. And I guess if I were a good YouTuber, I would have an example set up where you might use these utility classes. But the most common to me is like if you're doing a listing, like a blog listing or team listing, or maybe some cards or something, and your H2 is set up to be fairly big. If you're keeping a good hierarchy in your page, maybe the heading of the page is team, but your blog post or your team cards aren't big enough, or what the layout doesn't look right if you include a full-blown heading level 2 because it's just too big. So you want to style it like an H3 or maybe an H4. So you can just apply this utility class, is what I call it. But so that is the easy way to implement those like styles. And if we look at the source, because you're doing this with GeneratePress, it puts it. Ooh, can I find it? No, that's my base. Generate style. That's it, I think. So let's search for is style. Oh, nope, that is not it. Okay. Right, assets. That's my child. Oh, that's base Gutenberg. It's not Gutenberg, is it? No, no, it'd be generate something. Generate child. That's my stuff. Oh, I have it doing it inline. Okay, so there it is. It's putting it there. And yeah, okay. So that's how it works. And if you set it to render your styles, that's done over here. General. Oh, you don't. Maybe you don't get that option unless you have premium. Okay, well that's cool. That's okay. But let's say you want to bring back those block styles. Well, it's easy enough. Let's jump over here to some PHP. Okay, and I'm just gonna swipe these real quick. And we're going to, you know what, this is the code I set up from the previous video. Let's just do styles v2. And this is my child theme. The code I'm about to put in, you can insert with a code snippet plugin, whatever you want. I just like doing it with my child theme. Whoa. And I initially thought you had to do this. Okay, so we don't need to check for option values in the database table. So we don't need that. We don't even need that. We're going to keep this super simple. We don't need a for each. We just need these. Whoa, not my font size, man. Okay. So for the heading, we're going to get rid of all these PHP thingies. Get rid of those variables. Okay. Like H1, and we're going to call it H1 style. Like H1 style. Man, I hope this doesn't blow up on me. I think, okay, because it's going to generate a default style all on its own. So let's duplicate this and do H2. There's probably a faster way. I need to be utilizing my keyboard shortcuts more. But see, it's not case sensitive. H3. Oh, I could just be doing the freaking number. 3. Boom. Okay, so I'm going to save that, but I need to include it in my function. So let's do that and call it v2. Save and come back over here. And I think I can just refresh. And now, now I have my style. So I can style it like an H1, have it an H2 style as an H2 or default, or even H3. I think, it'll automatically pick up on, because it has that class applied to it. Yep. So that's it. I'm at under 15 minutes. I'll leave it there. I hope that is helpful. Sorry, my phone is dinging. So it doesn't always have to be complicated, but I tend to do that sometimes. And if I expand on that automatic generation of the utility classes or whatever, I'll throw up another video with how I tend to use it more better. But again, this was cool, and I'm sorry. I'm going to put the names in the description of this video. So sorry, I don't remember them right now. But it was a great conversation, and it was very enlightening, and I learned something I should have known, but it's so clever. Like, that's just so easy and whoop, so simple. Um, Hope you find it useful. Please like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff, and you guys take care. Have a great week.